What's going on, guys? Andrew here, and today I'm going to take you through 5 different kinds of boost pedals that I like to use to boost either an amp or the front end of another pedal to get more gain, tighter rhythms, better leads, and everything in between. So there are lots of different kinds of gain pedals, and I have 5 very common ones here that I'll run you through. I'm going to be playing on a humbucker guitar and also a single coil guitar, and having tones for everything so that you can listen yourself and try to figure out which boost pedal is right for you. Let's go. So the 5 pedals that I have today are, let's just start with the cleanest one is this Custom Audio Electronics Boost Line Driver pedal. So this is a very transparent, true bypass boost, not really much changing in the EQ. Next up, we have the Xotic RC Booster. So this also is a relatively transparent boost, and it also has a 2-band EQ, so you can do things like you can dump out some lows or you can boost some highs. Next up is the Archer Ikon from Rockett Audio. So this is a Klon style pedal. A Klon is, classic kind of boost pedal that's got a lot of mid character built into it, so you'll hear that. Next up, we have the classic Tube Screamer. Now this is a modified Tube Screamer by Analogman, so it's brought to 808 specs. And then last, we have the Boss SD1, which is another Tube Screamer variant type pedal. It has asymmetrical clipping instead of symmetrical clipping, which really just makes it sound a little harsher, which I actually like. That's my favorite one. We're running into a 1986 Rat pedal for a little bit of gain. I've got a DD3 on here, like an old long chip DD3, just for a little delay. I'll also do, with this PRS with humbuckers, and then I'll also do a Strat. So this will be like kind of a run and gun comparison video. So let's just get started. This is the bass tone of the Fender. I would call that pretty clean. I wouldn't call that edge of breakup or anything. So here it is with the Rat. Rat's kind of like a mid a little bit, but not really. I hear Rats get described differently all the time. For me, that's like a really just a great overdrive tone. And with a little delay, that's what that sounds like. So that's what we'll be working with. So let's start with the Custom Audio Electronics Boost. So this is going to be a transparent boost. It's going to hit into the front of the Rat. Now, no matter how high you bring up this volume, it's not really going to raise the volume of the signal because it's been in front of the Rat is going to control the master volume. Adding just a little bit more gain, not really changing the mid character much, not really changing anything else, and I'll end up going back to that as kind of a reference when I get into some of these colored boosts that are on the left. So now let's move over to the RC Booster. So you're going to hear it's a little bit different. Let's hear it with the Rat, yeah. Because you're able to roll out a little bit of the low end, it ends up staying a little bit tighter than this. Let's compare it to the other clean boost here. A little bit more high end that stays in there, which I think sounds really, really nice. And rolling a little bit of the lows out gives you, tightens it up a little bit. Bring the bass up just so you can hear what that's like. I don't hate that, but the way I would run this, if I was going to boost the front end, you don't want it to get too mushy, because when you're hitting a pedal like the Rat with more gain, if you hit it with a flat frequency, it's going to push everything up in the Rat. The Rat already has a good amount of bass, which I really like because it sounds like an amp that way. but when you push it, you don't want it to turn into mush. So that's the RC Booster. I think that both of these are good for adding more gain for like a rhythm, but you'll see as we move over into some more of the mid boosts, I think that they work a little better for leads. And I'll keep going back and comparing each one to all of them, you know, so by the end we'll kind of be going all around the horn. So let's move on to the Klon here, okay? So the Klon is going to give you a little bit of mids, so it's going to sound very MIDI. Let's turn the rat off here. You can just listen to straight up just what the Klon sounds like. Like I don't like any of these pedals necessarily into a clean amp. All of these, in my opinion, really shine when running either into a dirty amp or into a dirt pedal. And I think that that's how some of them get a bad name, quite frankly, but compared to the clean boost. See, it does kind of give you that tunnel, that, you know, it's got that nose on it, it's got the honk on it compared to this. It can be hard to hear, it's a subtle difference, but that honk and the little bit of high end that it takes off and the mid that it gives really works live. So that's the Klon. All right, so let's move on to the Tube Screamer. So the Tube Screamer is a classic for a reason. And it's going to have this different kind of mid character. It's going to lob off some low end, and you're also going to hear it gets a little more like a smooth kind of thing going on. A Tube Screamer is kind of smooth compared to the Klon and the Super Overdrive, which we'll get to in a second. So here's the Tube Screamer. Here's just the rat alone. Start to hear a little bit of like when I hang on a note, you can start to hear like a and I mean that's at home through studio monitors, like that's with this amp through a load box, like there's nothing really helping me get any kind of sustain like that. If I was playing out of an amp and had the guitar, I mean that would just be like going on forever. So so the Tube Screamer is great. It's a little more smooth. The Klon is like incredibly focused in my opinion. It's very mid-focused, where this is mid-focused and it's a little bit wider. Let's move over to the Super Overdrive now, which as I mentioned is my favorite. So this is like a Tube Screamer. The bass roll-off I've noticed is a little more extreme, and it's got this like harsher quality to it. It's actually one of the only pedals out of these mid-boost 3 pedals that I like on its own too, which is interesting. I like it on its own into like a Fender, which I didn't think I would. So let's listen to it first through the rat. punk rock than the Tube Screamer, which ends up just being a little more like polite. Alright, so now we got the Strat. I'm just going to do a quick run through just so you guys can hear, you know, this with another kind of pickup. These are Lindy Fralin special dirty blonde or whatever with the hotter pickup in the bridge. Let me just run through them sort of low to high. So this is the CAE. This is the RC. Some of these non-mid pedals, they still sound really, really good. I mean, the RC is an incredible pedal. All right, here's the clone. Immediately, like compression, it's compressed. See, the Klon works, the mid pedals really work with the Strat pickup because it kind of brings it's a hollow sound already. It really brings it up. Let's do the Tube Screamer, classic. You kind of have that singing thing right away. You've got that mid just comes right in. Back to the clown. Back to the clean boost, just so you can hear it. It's not like it's completely gone because I'm playing it, but it's whatever that is. That, you know, this high B is really getting picked up, you know, by the frequency in the Tube Screamer and the clone, and probably the Super Overdrive. Screamer and the Strat, you know, very close second for me with the Super Overdrive. I might even like the Tube Screamer better with the Strat. I'm not really sure, but I hope that this was a good breakdown, you know, for you guys. If you're thinking, what kind of boost pedal should I get? Do I need two? Do I need maybe one with the mid and one that's clean? And you can have, you know, kind of either or. There's pedals like the Coco Boost that do that, where they have a clean boost on one side and a mid boost on the other side. I have that pedal also. But I like to have, with the mid boost, I like to have a little bit of gain also. It's not just about a clean mid boost. It's about also having to dial in a little bit of gain, which you can get on the Archer, the Tube Screamer, and the Super Overdrive. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. And I encourage you to check out some of my other videos. And I hope to see you around. Take it easy.